Men of Reddit. What surprised you the most when you got your first girlfriend slash started to get to know women? That having strong feelings for her does not mean she is a great fit for me. That hit really close to home. Everyone should learn this. The sooner the better. How insanely soft their skin is. Additionally, how soft their legs are due to lack of hair. Women tell me OMG I haven't shaved in like a week and my leg hair is so long and my legs aren't smooth. I'm like, unless your legs are literally like mine. I think they're clean and smooth. They love cuddling. Not only because they are horny, but they want to suck all of the warmth out of your body to heat up their own Arctic level temperature bodies. Basically, if you're literally hot they want to hug you. When my girlfriend complains that she's cold then I touch her skin and it's boiling hot. I'm hot and my skin is a bit cold. Must be some physics happening. The good ones make everything fun just by being there. I always tell my spouse she decorates life. That is beautiful. That they can eat and use lots of toilet paper. How we have no choice but to use TP every time. The hair. It's everywhere in the drain, in the laundry, and sometimes in the food I make. It's everywhere but you don't see it until it somehow catches your attention. It's in my mate. Help. Don't worry. It's in her too. Promise. That they can be just as horny as we men, but hide it way I better. Imho they are hornier. Especially in age 35 plus. The dirty 30s is real for women. Women say men leave the house with nothing, meanwhile my exes and my wife will just get in the car with me for the day leaving their ID, keys, and insurance at home, like they don't need any of them ever. Meanwhile they'll have a purse with every other situation covered, but can't order a drink because they left their ID at home. That's because we have them covered when we go out with them. I doubt very many single women are leaving the house without their keys. The ID thing is shitty though. The amount of times the group has suddenly changed plans because of forgotten IDs is insane to me. Just bring it. Leave it with everything else you bring all the time. Just how much the menstrual cycle affects them. Mine would be how varied the effects can be from person to person. The size of women's jean pockets are a joke. You can't fit anything in there. That's why we have bags. I'd love it if women's jeans/pants had larger pockets. Forgive me for seeming ignorant, but I just figured that it's usually women who design women's clothes. Like, why would they do that to themselves? How fun they can make the small things in life. Ever gone out with your girlfriend to get Starbucks? It is such a fun experience. Just watching her making effort to get ready for that small trip. Hearing her talk about the most random things as you are walking, and then her ordering for both you and her. Customizing the drink in a way you didn't even know you like it. But when you are alone, you most probably won't even go. And even if you go, you will be like whatever, just give me the most basic drink and I'm out. HMM. I've got to refill my Starbucks card then. And get a girlfriend. How much they know. How passionate they can be about things. How they pick up on little things. Like moods. Small items/details. Conversations. Etc. How delightful they are when they are happy. You can't not smile. It's just pure joy watching it. How they can hug people and instantly both his and her day is just better. I have been very fortunate to have a lot of great women go through my life. Surprisingly, including my ex and present wife. But you sound like a very sweet man yourself. That might correlate. First few girlfriends, and at the same time some good female friends all opened up to me at the same time about being raped. Bit of an eye-opener to say the least. Once at a barbecue my wife talked about getting groped that day on the subway, and one of the other women said she'd been groped the night before at a concert. One of the other husbands said something like, wow, I guess you guys were unlucky this week. And the women told him that it happens all the time. Every single woman there had been groped. More than once. In public places. Many times. Several of us guys were disbelieving. But eventually they managed to convince us. Years later. The first time I saw not all men and the response yes all women. I remembered that barbecue. At some point they developed some sort of calming gentle warmness. I didn't see it until I was in a real adult relationship, but more than one partner just had an effect of almost untangling my brain just by their warm presence. Now that I type that, I think I just described being loved and the associated stat boof that comes with it. I think you nailed this description. Like the calmness that covers your whole being when you realize that another person completely accepts you for who you are. That you can make a mistake and they will still like you. That your affection for them is in itself a force of good. The feeling of trusting the universe a little bit more. You are free to express yourself. Experiment. Be creative. I don't think this is tied to any particular gender though. If they say no to chips, it's a trap. You're gonna lose some of yours. AHH the old girlfriend tax. How far back the V is. Before I got intimate with women, I just kind of assumed it was pretty much near where the P was. But nope. It's like way down there. Me too. Because back in my youth, Playboy was king. Models had a big bush and you didn't know exactly where in that bush the hole was. We all just kind of assumed it was right in front. Like a dick. Under all that hair. How straightforward and reasonable she was. I'd heard about / seen a lot of crazy or just unnecessarily complicated stuff happen in relationships. Lots of mixed messages, dishonesty, games, etc. It's why I didn't have my first girlfriend until 25. With my first girlfriend, it was also simple. The conversation where we went official was something like, me, so, I like you. Huh, I like you too. Me, yay. And I'm not seeing anyone else. Nor am I interested in seeing anyone else. Huh, same. Me, would you like to make this an exclusive dating arrangement? Huh, very much so. Yes, it ruined me for less communicative / mature people. I knew that there were women out there that could be reasonable and lost all willingness to deal with unreasonable or overly complicated relationships / people. I see them as completely avoidable, so I avoid. They are more obsessed with sex and adventurous with it than our cultural portrayals seem to suggest. They shed hair like an Afghan hound, don't take everything's fine for an answer. Be nice, but peel the onion. They hide stuff that turns their heart black sometimes because they've been raised to keep the peace. Help them through it, and the sky's the limit. Because they've been raised to keep the peace. That statement spoke to a deeper part of me I had no idea about. I had no idea this had been my sisters and I up until now. The high you can get from hormones was nothing I was prepared for in any way. XD. Jesus Christ, yes, that. It's so intoxicating. The most surprising was how a human being can hate themselves so much. That socialization was very wrong about their sex drive. It can ebb and wane due to monthly cycles. But when it's up, it can be very high. With my first girlfriend, I found out about the absolutely blood bomb. Blood pouring out. Left me wondering how the F she was still alive. I knew about periods. But JFC, my second, I found out different women had different flows. And not every girl was losing gallons of blood every month. So I guess I learned about the realities of periods. And not just what you learn in sex ed. It might seem like gallons to us too, but it's actually only 2 to 3 tablespoons for a normal period, which does vary from person to person. Periods last longer than a day. In my youth I used to have irregular periods. The worst was when it was like 3 weeks straight. I know a girl who had to go on BC because she had her period for 2 months. V is really warm. Imagine you put your clothes in the dryer and then stand naked in the living room for an hour. Then when the dryer is done you put your warm clothes on. That's what it feels like. Instructions unclear. Now stuck in the dryer. How well prepared they can be for small things that I wouldn't have put more than 5 seconds of thought into. Example, we drove from Colorado to California and ended up on a beach. I brought a towel and she had an umbrella. Cooler filled with drinks and snacks. Sunscreen. Some beach games. An extra chair etc etc. And I'm over here thinking to myself, where did she get the umbrella? I didn't see her pack it. Bonus, one sink being shared with more than one woman is a disaster. I can just see the bag that Hermione carries with the never-ending bottom. How powerful and loud her pee was. It made my pee stream seem like a trickle. Yeah, but you can aim it easily. Next time you go piss, power pee directly into the water, I'm sure you'll match it. How lively and affectionate they become when you make yourself available to them. I don't think most men, at least young men, understand how much we just want to be around the one that we love. There's just something so reassuring about having the man you love in the same room. It's weird. The world feels smaller and safer when he is around. That a bunch of them really liked me. How much TP I had to buy. They stash it for the winter like squirrels.